so much to do, so many of y'all to engage with, man. We appreciate y'all so very much. Over 2,300 views on the YouTube channel this past week. We appreciate that engagement, that love. Um, I was corresponding back and forth with a number of y'all on our social sites, so we appreciate that engagement there. Don't forget to continue to like, to share, and subscribe. That's Everybody Has the #1 sports podcast on YouTube. Everybody Has One spelled out sports podcast everywhere else. Man, oh man. It's been quite a past several days.
Yeah, man.
I want to start with the Micah Parsons news.
Right.
Obviously,
that broke right after we wrapped up the NFL prediction show last week.
Yes, right? Yes, indeed. Man, there's so many layers to that.
Yeah.
I want to take a little bit of time with that. And for those who did not know, Micah Parsons was traded from the Dallas Cowboys to the Green Bay Packers for 2 first-round picks and defensive tackle Kenny Clark.
Mm-hmm.
He subsequently signed a 4-year extension for $188 million, $136 million fully guaranteed, for an average salary of $47 million per year, which is the highest paid non-quarterback in the history of the NFL. First of all, congratulations to Micah Parsons.
Indeed.
Love to see the young man getting to the money, man, getting the bag and creating that generational wealth, being able to take care of his family, man. And we know that's what everybody is working for. So shout out to him. That was obviously a blockbuster move.
Yeah.
Significant for us because, as you know, we're a Detroit-based podcast. He came right into our backyard.
Yeah.
We now get to see him a couple of times a year as Detroit Lions fans. I'll take your first impressions of the trade, man, because there's a few layers that I want to touch on.
Okay.
Where it's concerned, man, and, you know, just the value of the edge rusher. That's significant to us because, you know, we got Hutch coming up likely after this upcoming season.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be looking at a contract extension. So this obviously has implications where that's concerned. The value of the edge rusher in general, I have some thoughts about that. Also, the historical context of this trade with respect to trades that have been made that have been like this one, and the type of fruit that they've yielded in the past. And also where this puts Green Bay with respect to the Lions, right? Whether or not, you know, this should make them the division favorite, if they're better than the Lions. So I want to just touch all of those. But I'll just take your impressions of the trade first, and then we can, you know, kind of subsequently touch on all of those
for sure.
different aspects of it.
Yeah, man, it was shocking to say the least. Like,
Indeed.
I would like to think I tried to stay, in the know.
When nobody saw that.
But I mean, I didn't even hear any rumblings of like the Packers being a player.
I had heard a couple of rumblings. You know, after he made the trade request, I had heard a couple of rumblings that there would be some teams interested in Green Bay was mentioned. But of course, Jerry Jones, I said that there was no way that he would be traded.
I mean, when they demand a trade, I mean, I just kind of took it as, a negotiation tactic.
Correct.
Like, oh, okay, yeah, that's the logical next step.
I think most people did.
Like, what do they do now? First, they scrub their social media with all the team, logos and all of that. And, then after that, they, go dark.
Yeah.
And then they demand a trade. So, I just kind of figured that was, the playbook for the negotiation. And then when that news hit, it was honestly, it was very similar to the Luka Doncic situation where you're watching TV and then across the ticker you see breaking news and you're reading it and it's not making sense as you're reading it.
You like that gotta be fake.
Hey, wait a minute now. Wait a minute, because I think I heard about Micah from you.
Yeah.
And I was like, what?
Yeah, and it was kind of from an obscure site.
Right.
So I was like, you know what? Let me confirm this before I blast.
Man, sure as the spit could dry on the stamp.
Yep, that's right.
It broke everywhere. I was like, damn, wow. So yeah, my first thought was that, I mean, my first, feeling reaction was shock,
Yeah, indeed.
and then from there, um, a little humor,
Right.
because it's like, Dallas doing Dallas things.
That's right.
Jerry doing Jerry things.
Yes.
If we, get specific with it. And I just was like, what is Jerry thinking?
Right.
And then I kind of saw Jerry's press conference where he was kind of doubling down or dying on the heel.
Right. Well, yeah.
Of,
at this point.
I guess basically Jerry's thing was like, you got to take the 5th year and then we're going to play this franchise game.
Right. Yeah. I mean, right.
Yes. And then like once kind of all of that kind of worked its way through, then I started to think about how that impacts us. Because
Right.
yeah, like you say, he's coming right to the NFC North. And I mean, he definitely upgrades their defense. Let's not be ridiculous.
I mean, yeah, he's going to make an impact. There's no doubt about that.
Let's be for real.
Yeah.
But that said, I mean, I think the Detroit Lions, running is what we do best.
Yeah.
Run defense, if you want to say Micah Parsons have a weakness, that can be, or maybe a skill set that can be exploited more than others.
Of course.
I would say, his run defense, defense on the run.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then also on top of that, I just feel that the Lions have a better team at this point. Like right now, I think we have a better squad.
I concur.
So like as of today, so yeah, the initial shock, it was like, oh, but then after, maybe a couple of minutes of just kind of just sorting it out and weighing it out, it was like, no, I mean, we're still a better team. And I still think we're the favorite to win the division. Now, what this yields for Green Bay going forward, I mean, if you're a Packers fan going forward, I don't think you can help but be excited.
Of course.
I mean, they've got a lot of young talent.
Absolutely.
A lot of young talent under contract.
Mm-hmm.
And skill players. So, I mean, 2-3 years down the line, we can revisit it and see where, the teams kind of stack up in the division. But like as of today, before they play on Sunday, I have the Lions winning the division still.
Yeah.
But, that being said, I mean, yeah, this is a mammoth move for the Green Bay Packers. Probably their biggest move, probably in terms of acquisitions, in terms of, game changing, probably Woodson.
Yeah.
Woodson was able to bring, actually kind of put them over.
Yeah.
In terms of, was he Defensive Player of the Year that year they won the Super Bowl?
That's a good question. Yes, he was.
He was, okay.
Yep.
Score one.
There we go.
But yeah, so I then you go back to, Reggie White.
Yes.
So
absolutely.
If if history is repeating itself, then it may be another, Super Bowl appearances in the cards in the next few years for Green Bay after, they kind of gel with the addition of Micah Parsons.
Absolutely. I like that analysis. I want to take a little bit of a different tact.
Okay.
Because I want to look at the market, and specifically the market for edge rushers. Because one of the good things about this podcast, if I can take a moment, I won't dislocate my shoulder patting us on the back, but
gotcha.
One of the great things about this podcast is that we're not connected to any sports league. We're not connected to any network that gets a check from a sports league. So we are free to do analysis, because most people are going to tell you what the NFL market is. Mm-hmm. But we're going to examine why the NFL market is what it is. Yeah. Because I think that the conventional wisdom has become that the edge rusher is the second most important position on the field. And that's evidenced by the fact that Micah Parsons is making $47 million a year.
Mm-hmm.
to put that in context, Jordan Love, the quarterback, the most important position on the field for Green Bay, he's making $55 million a year.
Mhm.
So he's just making a little bit more. I mean, if you want to call $8 million a little bit more, I'm just in context, it's a little bit more. That's
Right.
a lot of money, but it's just a little bit more than Micah Parsons. And I started looking around at the best edge rushers in football, right? I looked at Myles Garrett, who I believe is the very best pass rusher in football.
I concur.
He suited up all 17 games for Cleveland last year. They won 3 games. I looked at Max Crosby. He could be, and these are all of the highest paid, by the way, as well. He suited up. Now, in fairness, he only played 12 games, so he missed some games due to injury, and maybe other reasons too. But I'll say due to injury. They won 4, and then I looked at Nick Bosa, because he kind of started with he was the $34 million man, so he was the highest paid until these new deals started coming through. He suited up 14 games for the 49ers. They won 6. And of course, and then in fairness, you got to mention TJ Watt. They won 10 games. They did make the playoffs for Pittsburgh. And then the other highest paid is obviously Micah Parsons. He played for Dallas. They won 7 games, but they had, like the 30th worst, or best, however you want to phrase it, scoring defense. They gave up 27 points a game when he was on the field. He played 13 games. And so I started looking at the value of the edge rusher. And is that position overvalued? Giving them $45-50 million a year? Because you got to start looking at value. Like, if you can have the very best edge rusher in football in Myles Garrett and win 3 games, should we be given that position? And this is not about individual talent. This is about value. So I'm not talking about Myles Garrett as an individual talent. He obviously, as an individual talent, is worth whatever you want to pay him. I'm just talking about value. Are you getting enough value?
You mean in terms of wins and losses?
Correct. And I'll give you an example. If somebody was to say that, let's say a top 5 running back, Saquon Barkley, should make $50 million a year, most people would say that's preposterous.
Right.
From a value standpoint, I don't think it's preposterous. They would say it's preposterous because of the market for running backs.
Right.
I believe he gives you enough value to make $50 million a year.
I think he proved it.
Correct. Because if you look at his situation in the backfield with Daniel Jones, they made it to the playoffs and won a playoff game. They decided to pay Daniel Jones instead of Saquon Barkley.
Yep. How'd that work out in New York?
The year after Saquon leaves, they unceremoniously in the middle of the year released Daniel Jones. Saquon Barkley is now a 2,000-yard rusher and a Super Bowl champion. I'll give you a couple of other examples because I'm going to submit to you that you're not going to have a top 5 running back and be drafting in the top 5 every year or drafting in the top 5 at all. When the Panthers wanted to get the number 1 pick, they had to trade Christian McCaffrey in order to get the number 1 pick and get Bryce Young. Last year, who had the number 1 pick? The Titans. Yep. They had to let Derrick Henry go in order to get the number 1. You're not going to get the number 1 pick if you got a top 5 running back like Derrick Henry or Christian McCaffrey.
That's true.
They're going to account for wins.
Yep.
Same thing if you go around and look at the top 5 receivers. I told you that Dallas had, the 30th worst scoring defense. Well, they still won 7 games because they got CeeDee Lamb. He's one of the top 5 highest paid wide receivers. Justin Jefferson's team won 14 games. St. Brown's team won 15 games. Jamar Chase, his team.
They won 10?
Yep. They missed the playoffs by a game. And Mike Evans' team, they won 11 games and made the playoffs.
Yep.
You're not going to have a top 5 wide receiver and be drafted in the top 5 most years. So again, and I understand that some of those receiver salaries are creeping up toward $40 million. My point is, again, not individual talent, but value. Are you getting enough value out of the edge rusher position to be paying $45-50 million? Because that brings me around to Hutch.
Yeah.
After this coming season, Hutch is the odds-on favorite to win Defensive Player of the Year, according to most sports books. Now, I did pick him to win Defensive Player of the Year if you watched our prediction show last week. He's going to be up for a contract. You know, the way that the market works is that he's going to get around the same or slightly more than what Micah Parsons got.
Absolutely.
That's what his agent is going to be coming into the office looking for.
Yeah.
He's going to be looking for around 4 years, $200 million.
Yep.
And I like Hutch. And I would be hesitant, though, if I was Brad Holmes to pay him that. Now, you know, you can put your pitchforks away, Detroit Lions fans, because ain't no way Brad Holmes is going to heed that advice. They're going to pay Hutch. Hutch is from here. He went to Michigan. He's a hometown favorite. There ain't no way.
And a difference maker.
Yeah, and he's great. Yeah, I believe that he's going to be the Defensive Player of the Year.
Right. But on the subject of value,
I'm just talking value. I'm talking not individual talent. I believe his individual talent is worth, you know, I don't know if 50 million is the number, but it's worth a great deal of money. I'm just talking about impact, you know, whether or not they're going to bring enough value. So with that being said, I'll digress on that point. That's just something to think about.
Yeah, that's interesting.
The market is set and value is determined by perception a lot of times as opposed to reality.
Yeah.
The perception is that the edge rusher is the second most important position on the field. In my opinion, it's not. And the last thing I'll say about that is if you want to play a little game, the last 5 Super Bowl champions, who was their best edge rusher? Without looking it up, I bet you can't name them. Now, in my opinion, the most important member of the defensive line is the defensive tackle.
Thank you.
The interior defensive line.
Thank you.
Last 5 Super Bowl champions, Jalen Carter, Chris Jones, Aaron Donald, Vita Vea. I can name those.
Yep.
Now, I'm not saying you can't have a bad team and have a great defensive tackle. I'm just saying you can't have a good team and not have one.
Yeah. Well,
that's why Brad Holmes gave Aleem McNeil $98 million last year. Again, wasn't my favorite move. I don't know that Aleem McNeil is the same kind of difference maker as the people I just named.
He may be a tier below,
correct,
but he's
what we got.
If he's not in the room, he's in the hallway.
Yeah, no doubt. I like Aleem McNeil. And again, that's a conversation
for sure.
Day. But I think you need a great defensive tackle if you're going to.
I agree.
Be a championship caliber team, and I think that that's been proven out. And again, we can talk about that another day.
So what you're saying, Jason, is there's only one minister of defense.
Oh yeah,
and teams have basically been chasing that phenomenon for the last 30 years.
And Lawrence Taylor, same thing. Like
and I mean, Lawrence Taylor was pretty much the one that set the unheard of. You know, but these guys come around once every 40 years.
There's some generational guys,
100%,
who impact the game differently. I'm just talking about value on a relative scale and what you're going to get on a regular basis.
Right, I hear you.
And so now I want to come and bring it home to the division. Because I've already said I thought that Green Bay was the second best team in the division. Certainly, there's no two ways about it. Micah Parsons is going to make an impact. To say anything different is a coping mechanism.
Right.
He's going to make an impact. He's going to be all over the field. Yeah. There's no two ways about it. But here's a couple of things to set Lions fans' minds at ease, because I got into a spirited debate with a Green Bay fan on our social site. And I said, you know, because he like, listen, this puts Green Bay over the top. He was saying all of that. I said, you know, that's great. Y'all got a great edge rusher. We already had a great edge rusher. I said, but we've got a better offensive line, better running backs, better receiver, better tight end, and a better quarterback. You can stop me when I start lying. But I'm like, so explain to me why Green Bay is all of a sudden better.
They got the newest toy.
Yeah. I'm like, that's still true. He was like, y'all don't have a better offensive line. I said, we have an all-pro offensive lineman. Do you? No, they don't have an all-pro offensive. So we got the better
He
offensive
got
line. By the way,
many regard as the best protector in the league.
and by the way, I was just about to say that. Last I checked, Micah Parsons plays left defensive end. He's gonna have to go up against Panay Sewell. So
What I tell you.
and I'm like, listen, if you want to get some context, look at Micah Parsons' numbers against Lane Johnson, the other best right tackle in football. They ain't very good.
Yeah.
So while Micah Parsons is great, and he's a Swiss Army knife, he can move all around.
Mhm.
I'm not sure how Green Bay is intending to use him, but if they are intending to just line him up at left defensive end, it's not going to work out well. And also, I'm hearing that he might have to take injections, and then it might not be 100%. You might not want to do that against Panay Sewell. You might want to be 100%. You might want to sit this one out if you're not 100%, because you don't want your first game not at 100% to be against Panay Sewell, and you ain't had a full training camp. That's not going to be a good look.
And not only that, and I'm glad that you brought up that last point. That back thing, at first I thought it was, again,
A
I thought it was a
negotiation
negotiation
tactic.
tactic, a nothing burger. But now, big guys that move fast and, lower extremity injuries, this kind of starts with the lower back and then kind of work. And I'm not wishing this on Micah Parsons at all. And I'm not saying that Green Bay wasn't smart by giving him his money.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That's not what I'm saying either. But might be something you might want to keep your eye on, because I did not think that was a thing.
I didn't either.
So now I'm looking at that like taking a shot.
And also, backs are interesting because it's not a lot you can do with a back. Is they hard to brace? They hard to, you can't cast them, you can't brace them. So yes, with all that being said, because I put a bow on this, because there's so much to discuss. So much took place over this long weekend. The Lions are still the best team in the division. We're still the class of the division. We still are better at just about every position group. Full disclosure, I probably like Green Bay's linebackers a little bit better than ours, but I think DJ Reed is the best corner on either team. Xavier McKinney for Green Bay is an first team All-Pro safety, so you got to respect that. But
We got Kirby Joseph,
is
bro.
also a first team All-Pro safety.
We got Brian Branch,
and he led the league in interceptions, and I like Brian Branch.
I think Branch is better than Joseph, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, in some ways he is. I think Branch is better supporting the run, but I think Kirby is better in coverage.
Let me frame that better as opposed to just put out a blanket statement.
Yeah, he does.
The reason why I say that,
better.
I like Branch's versatility.
I agree. Yeah,
I think Kirby Joseph's a great ball hawk.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Have a great nose for the ball, breakaway speed, all that good stuff. But I think versatility wise, I'm a Branch guy.
Yeah, I love
the fact that Branch plays hurt.
Yep. And I mean, he's a heat seeking missile too, man. He just comes out of, man. He plays fast. He plays downhill. I love that.
Yep.
And then the last thing I want to touch on, man, is the historical context of trades like these, because there's mixed reviews. The first trade that I thought about was Khalil Mack. That's the comp, because I believe Khalil Mack was also 26. I would have to look that up. I believe he was around the same age, same sort of contract situation. They didn't want to pay him, and Khalil Mack was great in Chicago.
Yeah,
don't get me wrong. He had great production, had some great years. But by the way, Green Bay is better than Chicago was when they got Khalil Mack. Again, I want to be entirely accurate in my assessment. I certainly believe Green Bay is the better team than Chicago, and the better organization, by the way,
right?
Historically. But
shout out Lovie Smith. He got a raw deal.
No doubt. But I also think that paying an edge rusher $47 million in 4 years, that could be problematic, and that's very un-Green Bay-like. Green Bay typically builds through the draft. They
Yes.
don't make splash moves like this. And when you do things that are uncharacteristic, and this is a very much a win now move. I don't know if this puts them, to me, this doesn't make them a Super Bowl favorite. Jordan Love is a question mark.
Yeah, I think, and it's just me thinking again, so, buckle up. But
No, listen.
Maybe they're still drunk off the NFC playoff run that they had in 23.
We talked about that last week.
And maybe they feel like this move will put them over, like, what's the word? Like in checkers where they like double jump, like, do they feel like they can wipe away the regression from last year? You know what I mean?
I think they still won like 11, 12 games. They still had a great season.
Yeah, but they didn't look the same.
No.
You know what I mean? Like,
no.
That first half against San Francisco, they looked scary.
Yeah, they did.
That Thanksgiving game in Detroit, they looked scary.
Yeah, they can look scary.
Right, exactly. But maybe they're like, okay, if we get this guy, maybe we get more shorter fields on offense.
Yep.
Maybe we force more turnover than they already got an athletic secondary. Like,
listen.
Maybe they really feel like they're closer than maybe we think they are.
I mean, obviously, I think that this is a move that you make when you think that you just one piece away.
You just don't think they're one piece away.
I don't see them as being one piece away. I think they have young, unproven corners.
Okay.
He obviously helps that, though.
So do you think they need more experience, or do they need more talent in specific spots on the field?
Well, that's a good question. So I like the Matthew Golden pickup. If he can prove himself to be a number one receiver, if he can prove that he's a number one receiver, I like the Matthew Golden pickup. But I think that they have a lot of good receivers. I don't know that they have that
guy.
Number one receiver.
A driver.
Yeah. I believe Kraft. Is it Kraft that's their tight end? I like the tight end position.
He's still there?
I believe so. I believe he was young. So the offensive line is good. I don't think they're great, but they're good. I love Josh Jacobs. I think, he's probably their best offensive player.
Yeah, without question.
Yeah, and like they have a lot of good offensive talent. I don't know that they are a great offense or a great defense, really. I mean, like, as much as I like Micah Parsons, like, I don't see them as a shutdown, lockdown defense. And by the way, with Kenny Clark out of the
still
middle,
have Tucker Kraft.
Yeah, okay,
he's still there.
Yeah, so I like Kraft. He's a developing young tight end, and I'm interested to see how they look against the run. I'm interested, there's a lot of questions. I mean, that, perhaps I think that this has to be a big developmental year for them in order for them, because people picking them to win the Super Bowl. I'm like, I just don't see that.
Yeah, that may be a bridge too far there. I mean,
they finished third in the division last year. Now, a tough division.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. But they finished third in the division. So I'm like, picking them to win the Super Bowl because they got a great edge rusher, as if they were only a great edge rusher away, is, to me, that's perplexing to me from a football analytical standpoint, because a lot of it is just a lot of fanboying to me. It's like
the star power effect.
Yeah, it's like you DM the pretty girl and she DM'd you back, and now y'all getting married. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just this quantum leap to Super Bowl champion to me is, that's just
premature.
It's a bridge too far, in my opinion. They haven't been right on the doorstep of a Super Bowl, in my opinion. And to me, that's what, like had he gone to Kansas City, you
Right.
like, this
Right.
is a problem, or even Baltimore or the Bills.
Yeah.
Those are teams that have been right at the precipice of a Super Bowl. That's not Green Bay to me. I mean, and I'm not trying to hate on Green Bay, because I was effusive in my praise of Green Bay last week when we did our picks. I'm like, I think they're, I like Matt LaFleur. They're obviously a great organization.
Right.
They obviously know how to put together a winner, but they didn't feel like a piece away. This doesn't feel like just the final piece.
I think they need some seasoning.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, they need some experience. And even Micah. I mean, Micah hasn't advanced in it's not as if he's, he's some grizzled vet that's coming in with a whole lot of experience under his belt that can,
especially big games, because they sure ain't playing none in Dallas.
Correct. Yeah. And when when they did, they got throttled.
Yeah, they shot it all over the field.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
So that to me is, I don't really see it. But again, that doesn't mean that there won't be developments over the course of a season, because there's always teams that jump up and surprise.
Some teams just click, and some teams go to a different sport, but like our Pistons, they just kind of like speed up the schedule of progression. So I hope that's not the case.
Right. Yeah. No,
at the expense of our Lions, but I mean, it's possible with the level of talent that they are stockpiling in Green Bay. So, we'll have to wait and see while rooting against them.
Yes, indeed.
Go Lions.
We will keep our eyes on that, man. Let's talk some college football, man.
Oh man.
A lot happened.
Oh man.
In college football. Obviously, we got to talk about Arch Manning. He went out, he struggled against Ohio State. The 1 versus 3 matchup, preseason number 1, Texas went into Ohio State, preseason number 3, the defending national champs. They lost 14-7 in regulation. Looked like it could go to overtime for a minute there. But Arch Manning, he struggled to make some basic throws, in my opinion.
He did.
And a lot is being made of it. A lot of people, there's mixed reviews. Some people are saying, hey man, it was Ohio State. They making Matt Patricia out to be, a cross between Dick LeBeau and Bill Belichick, in terms of his terms of his defensive acumen. So, I mean, what say you, man? What struck you? What jumped out at you watching Arch Manning, man? What do you say?
He looked like the son of the receiver of the family. I mean, like Cooper caught the ball, he didn't throw it. But I mean, just in this environment that we're in, everything's gonna be overblown and everything's gonna have a little touch of hyperbole with it. I think, yes, early he looked bad.
Yeah.
I thought as the game went on, he started to look better.
Yeah, he got more comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard people say that there was a reason why he had to sit for 2 years, and I'm like, yeah, Quinn Ewers.
Right.
I mean, like this guy's no bum, but I guess, again, it's like when you are a part of a family name that has a brand attached to it, there are going to be, some expectations attached with it, some warranted, some not. I think a lot of that fell into play as well. And God, I hate what I'm about to say. You got to give Patricia some credit. Shit, I hate
Matty Patty.
Oh, God,
let me say this.
I feel the vomit curdling in the back of my palate just saying that. But I mean, the man is a multiple time champion coordinator.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it's hard if you're from that ilk to scheme against a player who is starting in their first game at the Horseshoe against the defending national champions.
Yeah, and you got the best defensive player in the country.
I mean, so did Arch Manning look bad? Yes. Is it time to sound the alarm? Not quite. I think, when I think Manning, I'm just like, if there's anybody that's probably like watching film and seeing where to get better, and
Yeah,
you get what
he
I'm saying?
certainly
Like,
has the advisors.
yeah,
to,
like
to get him together.
I don't foresee preparation being an issue for the long term.
Right.
So, but that being said, it was a lot of hype. People, I was hyped for the game.
Yeah, me
The
too.
game itself was a drag to
Yeah,
me.
it was a dud.
The game sucked.
Yeah,
Like that first half was hard to watch on both sides.
If it helps your Matt Patricia palette, Texas did outgain Ohio State 336 to 203.
yeah.
Thank you, Justin, for making me feel a little better there. I needed that. But I just think long term will Texas still be like in the playoff picture?
Of course.
They're too talented not to be, right?
I would think. So here's my thing, man. While I agree with you, it's certainly far too early to sound the alarm. A lot of teams are going to go to the horseshoe this year and get beat. I don't think I'm breaking any news by saying that. Ohio State is obviously outstanding, and they're outstanding every year. But I'm not going to say that there's not any reason to be alarmed.
Yeah, for sure.
By what we saw. And while I don't want to be hypercritical of Arch, because Ohio State is a good defense, there were a couple of things that bothered me.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, he's not a true freshman.
No.
He's been on campus, and he's played in college football games. And
he played well.
Yes. And I think the things that I saw that really gave me pause were the basic throws that were way off.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, this is year 3. Like the first play of the game, for example, there was a boot action. The wide receiver was wide open in the intermediate. It was just like a cross, an intermediate crosser. He threw the ball 5 yards short. It was 3rd and 3 down near the Ohio State end zone. Excuse me. They were going in, 3rd and 3, shallow crosser. He just dirtied it. Like, that's concerning. Like, this is not a 18-year-old true freshman playing his first game at Ohio State. Like, this is somebody who has been in the program for 3 years. These basic throws is this is basic pitch and catch.
Yeah.
And I understand that, maybe you get happy feet, maybe you get a little nervous, but some of the basic throws that he missed would alarm me if I was a Texas fan.
That's fair.
Not going to make too much out of it
that's
now.
Legit. That's legit.
But if I'm a Texas fan watching that, I'm like, man, those are basic. And the first play was on the script.
Yeah.
So that means that you practiced that throw multiple times before the game started, multiple times during the week of practice, because it was scripted. The first play is on the script.
Yep.
So we doing this boot action over and over and over again. How much air you got to get under the ball. Like, this should be something that you've worked on repeatedly, and you couldn't make that very basic throw. So that's something to keep your eye on. Now, of course, I think, they got a couple of cupcakes coming up. So, he can get right. You know what I'm saying?
Get his confidence back.
I have the schedule up right now if y'all want it.
Yeah, who they got?
So
nephew?
It's home to San Jose State, home to UTEP, home to Sam Houston.
Yeah.
Then they have a bye, and then they're at Florida, Red River Shootout, at Kentucky, at Mississippi State, Vandy, bye, at Georgia, home to Arkansas. Black Friday, home to Texas
Yeah,
A&M.
so he got 3 cupcakes
Yeah.
coming up. So, I think that'll be an opportunity to right the ship and get the reps that he needs. If you're a betting person, I would take Texas in the points for all of those games because I think he's going to get a lot of reps. I think they're going to leave it, like where they would maybe normally take out if it was Quinn Ewers. I think they probably going to give him extra reps, extra drives, extra time in the game, to get comfortable with the receiving core and just getting some maybe some intermediate and short throws.
And maybe this is the wake-up call the kid needed. Like, hey man, you've been running around here being the social media MVP for the past 2-3 years.
It's time to get real.
I mean, you've already banked your money, which no one's mad at.
No.
You know what I'm saying? But when you get treated like a star prematurely, especially when you're young. I mean, we was all there. Well, you got a lot of people telling you the shit. You will start to believe it.
Yeah, no doubt.
So maybe this is what he needed to get back to basics.
Yes.
To get back to the stuff that made Manning a household name before you.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying? Hopefully that'll be the case. Because, I mean, I think whenever, you have just like Texas in general, with a Manning at quarterback performing, we're all the benefit as college football fans.
Of course,
So,
and there's going to be eyes on that situation too.
100%, as it should be.
Yeah, so
as it should be.
One question before we move on.
Go ahead. No.
Texas over under at most books was 10.5 wins before the season. Do they still hit it? Yes or no?
10.5 wins with that schedule. Let's see. I think the only one that's really stood out to me was Vandy and the Red River shootout. So
they're at Georgia and they're at Florida.
So they run off the next 11.
You know what? That's a good question.
Can I push?
Gun to my head, nephew. No.
Can I push?
No.
You got them right at 10.
Under.
Ooh.
I don't like what I saw.
Scorching hot take.
Yeah, I don't like what I saw.
Man, I was trying to punk out and go with the push. This motherfucker said no, 9.
I don't like what.
All right,
maybe
so
10. Maybe they win 10, but I don't like what I saw.
So for the sake of entertainment, I'll go. They'll still cover the 10.
So they'll get the 11. So
I got
10.5.
Yeah, they about to run off. Yeah, they about to run them all off. They about to run it. They about to run the table. All right, Arch. Now I've probably cursed you now, so don't hold it against me.
The other shocker. Well, there was 2 other shockers this weekend,
buddy.
But let's talk about FSU over Alabama.
Yep.
Because to call Kalen DeBoer, I always want to call him Caleb. Kalen DeBoer, to call his seat hot is an understatement. His seat is on fire. It's in the 9th circle of hell right now. If I was him, I'd be ordering DoorDash from the crib in Tuscaloosa.
I'm talking about.
I wouldn't be going out nowhere.
Bruh.
You don't want to see them Bama fans right now, Mr. DeBoer. But I heard his buyout is like $70 million too. Like, it's crazy. Like, they might be stuck with him.
Ooh,
so talk to me about FSU smacking up Alabama as an unranked dog.
Not on my bingo card at all.
Not at all.
Bruh, I was absolutely shocked by that one.
Shocked, stunned.
I mean, because if there was ever a team over the last 25 years that are known for pump faking, it is the Florida State Seminoles. Outside of 2011?
Yeah.
Or that 2013 when Jameson and won.
2013.
Okay. I mean, that's it. Like, and that was like a once in a lifetime player, team, and situation.
And they manhandled Alabama.
Like, right. That's what I'm saying.
It wasn't.
It
didn't look competitive at times.
I mean, what happened? Was it like a toga party at the Sig Ep house the night before? Or what?
That's me,
bro. That was bad. And now what? This is What is this? More like fourth loss?
Yeah, to an unranked opponent. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he got as many as Nick Saban had in his whole tenure at Alabama. I'm like, that seat is on fire.
Man, they need a miracle.
Yeah, I'm stunned that Alabama has taken this kind of a turn.
Yeah,
This
they just didn't. It looks like, was this the succession plan?
man, don't ask me. You know, like I'm not, I'm not in the know on Alabama football like that. Other than that, they've always been an excellent program that has been dominant.
Somebody hit up Find Bomb and find out what's going on.
Yeah, get the lowdown. But so let me ask you this, man. Since we asking burning questions, DeBoer, he making it through this season?
Justin, can you pull up Alabama's schedule?
And let's get that over under win total, man. Let's see.
I believe that over under win total was 9.5 at the beginning of the year.
Under. So yeah, we're done there.
So their schedule is home to Louisiana Monroe, home to Wisconsin, at Georgia, home to Vandy, at Missouri, home to Tennessee, at South Carolina, home to LSU, home to Oklahoma, Eastern Illinois, and then at Auburn to end the year.
Yeah, I hear a bunch of losses there.
Lord. Yeah, I might have to. They said 9.5.
Yeah, they ain't winning 10 games.
I don't see 10 games, brother.
You can forget that. At Georgia is a loss.
Vandy's gonna be tough. Carolina's gonna be tough.
Yeah, Vandy beat them last year.
Yeah.
Yes, it was 9.5.
Yeah, I don't see them getting over now. I think 2 more losses should.
Oh yeah,
is coming.
Yeah, easily.
Now, to your question, does he make it through the season? Yeah, I think he makes it through the season. And if they end up with the 9 win total or less, then they gonna have to eat that $70 million.
So,
because I don't know how you bring him back after that.
But my thing is, you don't think they could hit a 3-game skid? Like, I think if they get smacked up, because like they gotta go at Georgia. Give me that schedule one more time, man.
Louisiana Monroe this week at home.
Yeah, that's a dub.
Wisconsin at home this week.
Yeah, that they gonna be. Wisconsin
they have a bye,
awful.
And then they go to Georgia.
L.
And then they home to Vanderbilt.
They that's a push.
Yeah, pick them
away at Missouri.
L.
Home to Tennessee.
L.
At South Carolina.
Oh, God, yeah, that could be the funky 4 in a row, dog. Ouch.
I'm like, that could be the firing right there. That's what I'm like, no.
So you're thinking, now see, once you put it like.
Before they play between South Carolina and LSU.
Yeah, before that bye week is not.
What week is that, Justin, the bye week?
Their bye weeks are September 20th and November 1st.
Yeah.
So the November 1st bye is after which game?
At South Carolina.
That could be
that could be it.
That could be night.
That could
because the alumni ain't gonna put up with
that could be the reckoning.
Yeah.
That could be the reckoning. Once he laid it down with those back to back,
I'm telling you,
I thought they were kind of sparsed out.
That schedule.
Ooh, that's rough.
Don't let them lose to Vandy. If they lose to Vandy, that
so
might
they
be
got
5
Georgia.
in a row.
They got Georgia, Vandy, Missouri, Tennessee,
and then South Carolina. If that could be 5 in a row. With the way they just
I'll tell you this. I don't think it's going out on a limb. If they lose 5 games, his ass is definitely gone.
Yeah, he's not gonna make it through the year.
Like the Alabama teams don't lose 5 games in 3 seasons.
That's what I'm saying.
I can see a world where he loses 5 games and still stays if they beat Auburn somehow.
I don't
really?
If he lose 5 games in a row, nephew, he out of there. They not gonna put up with that. It'll be a mutiny. Them Alabama fans ain't gonna be putting up with that. That'll be a mutiny.
Ooh-wee.
At this rate, if they lose 5 games in a row, he will not be there because their only wins will probably be Louisiana Monroe.
Yeah, if they lose 5 in a row, they'll be 3-6.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. Yeah, they ain't gonna put up with that.
Hell, you can coach at Wayne State and be 3-6 and get your ass fired.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's bad. Oh man. So we keeping our eye on the Alabama situation, man. That's gonna be fun to watch. Miami, and Notre Dame. They played a nice
That might have been the best game I watched of the weekend.
I would say so. We'll talk about that, and then we got to get to Bill Belichick's welcome to college football. I like that game. Carson Beck looked good for Miami. I worry about Notre Dame. I worry about them, man.
Hey, man, we talked about this about a year ago.
Yeah, man. I worry about him, man.
Hey, man. No Diddy. Face for TV.
Yeah.
He better get it together. Oh, he gonna be live in studio next season.
You got the best running back in the country. They barely gave Jeremiah Love the
Turn
football.
around and give him the ball.
You got a true freshman at quarterback, and you leaning on him to win the game for you.
CJ Carr had 11 carries. Jeremiah Love had 10.
Right.
That's insane.
That's absurd.
In a winnable game.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't understand the way that they handled that game. I don't understand the way they called the game. I don't understand the way that they handled the game. Marcus Davenport, he worries me, bro. I'm like, he worries me. Sometimes his coaching decision, and I know he a defensive coach, and a lot of times the defensive coaches become very disinterested in the offensive side of the ball.
Yep.
But I'm like, you got to get on the offensive side of the ball and tell them to get you. Hey, my best player got to get the ball, bro. And if you're not game planning my best player into the game, then somebody else gonna have to do the game planning.
Amen.
Because ultimately, you're the head coach, bro. 10 carries for your best for the preseason All-American best running back in all of college football that's malpractice, bro.
Amen.
That's malpractice.
I'm telling you, bro. Them coaches that always say the right stuff but don't do the right stuff during games.
Right.
They end up on TV, bro. Brother Freeman, I'm trying to tell you. I told you this last year.
Yeah.
You can't lose winnable games because, number one, for some reason, Notre Dame has.
Freeman, I called him Davenport. Yeah.
Notre Dame has like this like ridiculous, like distorted. How like the Dallas Cowboys, the New York Knicks, what's another team where every year it's their year?
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? It's like Cowboys, Knicks, and it's Notre Dame. Yeah. It's like Notre Dame has like not been much of anything. No, here and there they'll have a year, but they ain't been really competitive since like Jerome Bettis and Lee Becton. Like they
SC got a fan base like that.
Yeah, SC, you know what I mean? Texas. You're like, those are, this is our year. This is it. Mm-hmm. And for some reason, Notre Dame like carries themselves like, you know, they're the prize.
Yeah.
And that being said, they're not gonna go for too much more of, especially, you know, brothers coming up short on the coaching tip. They show you.
Yeah. Tell them to call Ty Willingham. He'll tell you.
Yeah. I mean,
Ty Willingham was winning like 9-10 games a year. They was like, yeah, peace.
It's not enough, bro.
No.
We need that imaginary trophy that's been, you know, in our trophy case since 1993.
Yeah. I'm like, they still living off their cachet from the 60s, bro.
Yeah. Rudy. and Joe Montana, you know what I'm saying? Shout out Bus Bettis, but that's about it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean, you know, we rooting for Marcus Freeman, but I'm here to tell you, dude, he keep this up. No, he gonna be on game day.
That's my guy, man. But
he gonna be replacing Lee Corso. Not so fast.
Man, we got to talk about Bill Belichick.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. That was
baptized on Labor Day night. Sonny Dykes and the TCU Horned Frogs baptized the North Carolina Tar Heels, man. And shout out to my cousin Tamika, man, and all my people down there. She a Tar Heel. She bleed that powder blue and white, man. But y'all got baptized, man. And it started out so good.
First drive.
First drive went right down the field, and then the air came out of the balloon. And first of all, so man, there's so many layers to this, man, and we don't have all that much time. And I do want to I want to talk about young Bryce Underwood, man, because he looked incredible.
Yeah.
He looked the part, unlike Arch Manning. But
yeah, my fault. It's Michigan fans over here are elated.
What is with Bill Belichick's ability or inability to assess quarterback talent? The kid that he started, what was it, the Gio kid?
Gio Lopez.
Gio Lopez. There you go. From South Alabama, the South Alabama transfer.
Mm-hmm. One of 70 new players on the roster, by the way.
But I don't know if you saw last year, Max Johnson, Brad Johnson's son, in a game against Minnesota, broke his leg early. He was having a great game then. But when he replaced Gio Lopez, looked incredible.
Yep. Looked competent.
And I'm like, why exactly did Max Johnson not get his job back from Gio Lopez? Didn't look comfortable throwing the ball. He didn't really look comfortable running with the ball. I'm like, why did Max Johnson not get his job back? What's with the quarterback evaluation for Coach Belichick? It's like ever since Tom Brady left, he can't evaluate quarterbacks no more because he's making all the wrong decisions. Because Max Johnson, from the small sample size that we saw, it appears that he should be the starting quarterback for the University of North Carolina Tar Heels.
They should at least give it a whirl.
Yeah, I mean, right, because what we saw, that's not working. Gio Lopez is not working. So yeah, he got absolutely baptized on both sides of the ball. These son coordinators.
Oh man.
Kurt Ferentz had his son coordinating the offense for Iowa for a number of years, and Iowa couldn't. I mean, they couldn't score on offense. They were the worst offense in the country for years. But I mean, of course, you can't fire your son.
Yeah, man, Stevie, bro, there's plenty of good high schools in North Carolina, man, that could probably use his expertise and cachet and maybe get Pops to come through, sign some balls and throw around. But he don't need to be coordinating Daddy's defense no more.
No, they look bad, man.
No more. And
go ahead, bro.
Want to give TCU a little credit.
TCU rolled
because TCU learned from the Colorado game from 2023, where it was a similar situation. There were no Shadors or Travis Hunters on the Carolina roster. So let me state the obvious.
Right, I was going to breaking any news
let me state the obvious first, because we kind of have to in these day and times. But still, that being said, they chose not to get caught up in the hype.
Yeah,
they're like, okay, we've got another coach with cachet. Probably, the greatest NFL coach. That we've seen. Like I wasn't around for all the
Lombardi,
Lombardis, and I got a little bit of George Seifert, but they took that lesson that they learned from that Colorado loss, and they did not take their foot off the gas at all. Once they smelled blood, they kept bringing it.
Yeah, they did.
So I want to give them props for learning from that.
Yeah, shout out to them.
And coming in and putting belts to asses on the Tar Heels on Monday night.
Without a doubt.
I mean, they had the fans filing out of there with 7 minutes left in the third quarter.
Yeah, because it was over.
Like, dang. But what do you think? How do you think Carolina's season shakes out after this? Is it going to be more of the same? Can Dollar Bill adjust on the fly?
Well, in conference play, they avoid both Florida schools. They avoid SMU, and dare I say it, they avoid Georgia Tech.
Okay.
The only top tier ACC team they're supposed to play is Clemson.
Okay.
As of right now.
Okay.
Well, that's good, but you know what? I will reserve judgment until I want to see if they're gonna make the switch to Max Johnson. That's first. If they do that, they got a chance, because I think that Max Johnson is clearly the the better quarterback. I have no idea what the whole Gio Lopez thing was about.
Well, maybe they thought during the game he would get the magic back from the first drive, and it just never happened.
Yeah, I don't. But like Max Johnson looked good before he broke his leg last
Yeah,
year.
right. Yeah,
so
for sure.
I just don't even understand like why they thought a change at quarterback was even necessary.
You said it couldn't have happened in camp.
Yeah, I don't understand. I'm like, he got a great quarterback pedigree. He's accurate.
Yeah.
And I understand wanting maybe a dual threat quarterback, but I'm like, I don't know. Bill has always had a straight drop back passer.
Yeah, like a dual quarterback. They tried with Cam. We seen how that worked. Ain't played since.
Yeah, to me, that's just, I don't understand that. But I'm on the reserve judgment because I will say, spoiler alert, I don't have good feelings based upon what I saw in the first game. They're going to need to gel.
What gave it away?
They're not entirely talentless, but they're going to need to come together. I do want to circle over the young Bryce Underwood, man, before we close it out.
The $12.5 million man.
He looked incredible. He looks the part. And I understand that it was in New Mexico. They were playing, I don't want to read too much in New Mexico, but he looks the part. And I think Michigan is going to have a nice season, man. I like what I saw from them. They slowed down a little bit. It's not too much analysis on New Mexico, but what are your thoughts on young Bryce, man?
Bryce, I'm so glad he did not look like Arch Manning.
Right.
Because I would need therapy if he went out there and stunk it up. Because remember, at the beginning of the spring ball, there was some rumblings about the accuracy issues. And
but he a true freshman. See, that
right.
would be more understood.
Exactly.
Okay, he bouncing balls, and again, the reminder. I understand that was Arch's this is his first season opener. This is year 3. He's not a true freshman.
Right.
A kid coming in at 18 years old, that's a whole nother ball of wax. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is your first college action. But he was making all of the throws. He was making all of the reads. He looked comfortable. He was making great decisions. That's kind of what I expected to see from Arch Manning. And of course, the competition level, y'all don't at me. I understand New Mexico is not Ohio State. We will see him against Ohio State. We'll get an opportunity to see how that shakes out. But you understand what I'm saying. You're looking for certain characteristics.
Yeah, for sure.
You're looking for quarterback traits. That's what you're looking for in quarterbacks. Traits.
Oh, yeah. Well, we seen that from this kid in high school.
Yeah, I mean he's a monster.
He is. He checks all the boxes.
Yep.
Pocket presence. I like the fact that he saw room for improvement, even against a lesser opponent.
Yeah.
He was like, I might give myself a C.
Plus,
I could have did better than that.
Yep.
And I would be remiss if I did not give young Justice Haynes some love.
Yeah, the running back.
That young man was toting that rock.
Yeah, he was.
That young man was toting that rock as well. So, hey, man, things are looking up. We're going to see what happens in Norman on Saturday night.
Yeah, so we don't have a chance to preview the whole NFL first week, man. You got any surprises, man? Any upsets other than the Lions? Lions are plus 120, by the way, for all of my gamblers out there. I'm going to take that on the money line. Spoiler alert. I'm going to take that plus 120 on the money line.
Do I have any upsets?
Yeah. You got Dallas coming away with a victory tomorrow night, or
no? They're going to get throttled.
Yeah.
If I'm going to go with a week 1 surprise, this may sound crazy. My week 1 surprise, and it may not be a surprise because your football acumen is pretty high. The New York Giants defense.
Yeah, no, man. Listen, you already know I like the Giants defense, man. The Giants might surprise.
I think
they might surprise.
I want to see how it looks week 1. If they can squeeze, you know what I mean, get like a low scoring game, and I guess we're gonna roll with Russ and see what Russ do.
Let me tell you the one that I'm watching, man.
Okay,
and you'll be interested in this one, and we'll close on this. The one that I'm watching that I'm most interested in is the Bengals and the Browns.
That should be stat night.
It should be, but the Bengals have started slow every year.
That's legit.
They lost week 1 to the Patriots last year.
Yeah.
So I want to see what they look like early in the year.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a game that the Bengals should roll.
It should be. I mean, it should be
Browns.
Tecmo 88.
Yeah, they should roll the Browns, but because they've started slow every year, I'm very interested to see how they look. If they come out and look like they supposed to look, man, it's gonna be a long year for everybody that's on the Bengals schedule.
Man, I got the Bengals going to the AFC Championship.
Yep,
so this is the year, Joe Shiesty. Pistol, get off the pot. You got all your weapons. Everybody's paid.
Man,
get it done.
We want to thank y'all for tuning in one more time, man. Thank you so much, man. Continue to like, share, and subscribe as everybody has the #1 sports podcast on YouTube. Everybody has one spelled out everywhere else. That's Instagram, that's Facebook, that's TikTok, that's Twitch. Continue to tap in with us, man. Thank y'all so much for continuing to engage, man, and meet us back here next Wednesday at 8 p.m. or as close as we can get to it. Everybody has
CP
one
time.
podcast.